Hi, my name is Andrew Shepard. This is a project for 468. Um, I'm just gonna describe basically how everything works. So yeah. So um so I used VirtualBox for this project. And basically you had to create three different virtual machines and then do various network configuration results with them. So there was a specific way that you had to set everything up in a specific order in order to make sure it worked. I It was not quite working for me for a while, but yeah, just had to do some finagling. So. But the way that you had to do it was you had to first, without starting up the client and the server, you had to start up the gateway network. And then you had to do all these different commands in the gateway network. So, so here's setting up the different uh, like IP addresses and such. Um, And then after that, you wanted to make specific IP addresses. And then you wanted to edit the configuration file so that it would save and continue to use that configuration upon reboot. So then after that, you wanted to enable post routing. And to do that, you had to go in and edit the edit this configuration file here to enable IP forwarding so that the actual gateway would work. So that was what you had to do on the gateway network. And then after that, you had to start up, after all of that was set up, um, then you would go and set up the client and the server. And to make sure all of this even worked in the first place, you did have to go in. Um, you did have to go into VirtualBox and you had to create some internet networks, and then so the gateway had one internet network connected to the actual internet, and two internal networks, the client and the server network, and then on server, client and server, those were each individually only connected to the networks, the client and server networks. So so after you did that with the gateway, you'd set up the client using all these different commands here, just making sure that all of these specific IP addresses are set up. Then you would apply the configuration. Um, and then you had to do the same thing on the server virtual machine. Um, so you would add this on the specific interface, these specific addresses, which would and then you would make sure that it was saved a configuration file so it would continue to work on reboot. So after all of that, what that means is that you would have your gateway set up, and then even though it was only connected to an internal network, you could go and you could ping to the internet. You could do that on all of these. Of course, the gateway would work because it's connected to the internet. But yeah, its connection to the internet is what is providing all of the other connections to the internet. So yeah, there's a lot of finagling to do with this project when it comes to virtual machines. A lot of ins and outs. Took a lot of trial and error, but yeah, everything seems to be working, which is awesome.